Okay, so for my first video on my new VC Cassidy DVD channel, I want to get caught up on my DVD updates. I've bought a lot of stuff since the last DVD update I did on the Video Clerks channel, and I, you know, of course, Christmas came and went, and I got some stuff for that, and I've done a little post-Christmas shopping. I hit up the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble, and I got some stuff there I want to show, so I got a lot of stuff to show, so this might be a long video. But I'm going to save the Criterions for last, bury my lead, and I'll start with some of the other Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm getting more and more Blu-ray. I'm trying to get out of the habit of buying DVD, but I'll start with some of the stuff that I got for Christmas from some friends I was in DVD. First of all, my best friend's girlfriend, who we did a little gift exchange with our friends, and she got me the first season of Modern Family, a show I've never actually watched before. I've watched the first disc, I think, since Christmas, and I'm liking it so far. It's pretty funny, although I feel it's a little cliche in some places. Like the way this show's set up kind of reminds me a little bit of The Office, and reminds me a little bit of Arrested Development, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about the show, and I'm liking it enough to stay interested and keep watching it. Certainly some funny parts so far. So I'll be finishing this first season hopefully pretty soon. From my other friend Richard, who you may know from my DVD podcast, jabberandthedrone.com, I'll put a link in the description. He got me a couple of Disney movies because him and his wife do the Disney rewards things, where whenever you buy Disney movies, you get codes, you put them in, they give you points, you get enough of them, you get free DVDs. And so he got me a couple of Disney movies that I didn't have in my collection, two kind of lesser known favorites of mine actually, so I was pretty excited about this present. And he got me The Brave Little Toaster, which is a cool Disney movie from the early 80s. It was kind of a weird era for Disney. It was before the Katzenberg, Michael Eisner era, where Disney kind of boomed in the 90s, in the early 90s, with, you know, with The Little Mermaid and Lion King and that kind of stuff. This was before that, but it was post-70s era too, so it was kind of in that weird kind of growing pains era where Disney was still trying to figure out what they were. But I really like this movie. It's a little bit darker, and it has a kind of a lonely sort of tone to it, very different in a way from Disney. It almost feels almost a little bit like something more like a Don Bluth kind of movie. But I really like this movie a lot, and the music in it is a lot of fun. Avoid the sequels. They made a couple. And here's another fun one. DuckTales, the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, which is kind of their retelling of Aladdin with the characters of the DuckTales. Of course, it still takes place in Duckburg. And it kind of starts out with sort of a faux Indiana Jones sort of thing, where they find the lamp in this big cave or whatever, and they go back to Duckburg, and there, of course, there's a genie there, and the genie kind of causes trouble with all the characters from the TV show and all the kids, and he kind of pretends to be a kid. Of course, there's an evil sorcerer, sort of Jafar-esque, who's sort of voiced by Christopher Lloyd, actually, who's looking for the genie for his own advantages. The genie is voiced by Rip Taylor, the old comedian, and I don't know, I like this movie a lot, actually. I actually like this movie more than... shortly around the time of Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life went on sale, and I got the kind of crazy box set that comes in like the white crushed velvet case, which is actually sort of cheesy. It's sort of cardboard and falls apart really easily, and it comes with a little bell Christmas ornament that you can find, which I didn't really care about any of that stuff, but it was really cheap, and it's a good movie, and everyone should have it in their collection. And I figure, you know, it's finally on Blu-ray. It's probably nice. I unfortunately didn't get to watch it again before the Christmas season was over, and I have an issue with watching Christmas movies that aren't around Christmas, so I probably won't end up seeing this movie till about a year from now, but it's in my collection for when that time comes. Another present I got from one of my friends, my roommate actually, bought me Attack the Block, which has been one of my favorite movies of the year thus far. It's really good, it's really funny, it's really scary. Well, not really scary, but, you know, kind of a creature feature, sort of along the same lines as like Goonies and Gremlins and sort of the creature features of the 80s, but it takes place in Britain. It's written and directed by Joe Cornish, who oftentimes collaborates with Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and whatever. This is a great movie. Actually, in some ways I like it a little bit more than Super 8, which I would say is kind of its American counterpart. So yeah, if you dig this kind of stuff and you dig the Joe Cornish, Edgar Wright stuff, I'd say, you know, definitely go out and, you know, just blind buy this thing, because I think it's a lot of fun. I'm always updating stuff in my DVD collection. You know, I'm trying to get away from DVDs and get more Blu-rays, so if I see something for a good price of a movie I might already own in DVD, I'll rebuy it. And I've been doing that a lot, and one of them I did that with is the original 1989 Batman movie, starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, directed by Tim Burton. And this is kind of a cool, like, digibook. So, you know, it has the Blu-ray right here, but then it has, you know, kind of a some books with some promotional stuff, pieces of the script, whatnot. I kind of gave it a good treatment, and actually got this for like under $10 or something like that, so this was a good deal. And it's actually a movie I really still like. There are a lot of people bag on this Batman now because the Chris Nolan movies has kind of set a new standard for the series, and I think a lot of people forget how good the first Batman was because their mind is just cluttered with those terrible sequels. I have a special kind of love for Batman Returns, but you know, those terrible Joel Schumacher sequels, people only can kind of think back about 15 years. I don't remember that the first Batman movie is still a really good movie, and the production design is really creative, and it was before Tim Burton was kind of a hack. So, you know, I'd say it's worth owning, and for me it's worth owning on Blu-ray. A lot of people doing these DVD updates have been buying this exact same set, so I won't talk about it too much, but of course the new Mission Impossible just came out. I just reviewed it today for Video Clerks, and I liked it a lot. And they had this here, the Mission Impossible trilogy, the first 3 movies by Brian De Palma, John Woo, and J.J. Abrams. This was only $30, $10 a pop for each Blu-ray version of the movie. I hadn't owned them at all before, so I figured this is a good deal and probably as good as it's going to get. And I was a little worried before I bought it that they were just going to be bare bones Blu-ray editions where they just slap the regular picture onto a Blu-ray disc and it's just whatever, and they don't put any effort into it. But actually, each disc has a decent amount of special features and featurettes and stuff like that, so it's not a terrible deal. And it's a little frustrating that I know that the 4th one's going to come out and it's not going to be included in this case that all the other ones are, but you know, live and let die, I guess. Before I head on to the Criterions, this is another one that I've updated. I had in DVD, but I've been wanting this Blu-ray edition for a long time, and it's a little hard to find because there's a few different editions of it. And it's Apocalypse Now, and this is the full disclosure version. So if you're a DVD Blu-ray purist and you're looking for the best version available, this is it. There's another version out there that has kind of a red cover, a digibook, sort of like that Batman one I showed, and that's good if you're just looking for the film. But this one has a lot more, and I'll show you a little bit. It comes with this book here, which I don't know if this is the same content that's in the digibook, but there's this, which has a lot there, including pieces of the script, pictures, production notes, etc., so on and so forth. And then also, it comes with this here, which is a fold-out dealio. It has a full image there, which is kind of cool. And then the 3 discs. It includes, I'll read it off. It includes Apocalypse Now, the 1979 cut, the Apocalypse Now, the Redux, which has something like an extra hour of footage. I've never seen that version, but I'll probably watch it at some point. And then it also comes with a 2nd disc full of more special features than you could ever want, and a 3rd disc which comes with the documentary, the famous documentary about the making of the movie, Hearts of Darkness, a filmmaker's Apocalypse, which shows Francis Ford Coppola pretty much going insane trying to get this movie made, like literally almost going insane. and I'm excited to see that too. So I've been wanting this edition for a while, and I think it's worth the upgrade to go from the already cool Blu-ray, or the already cool DVD version, to this Blu-ray. Alright, now I'll show you what I got during the Criterion sale during the month of November. And a couple of these I bought since then on Amazon too. Post-holiday shopping, they always have some cool deals, but I'll just go into this. And most of these are Blu-ray as well. First of all, I got Krzysztof Kieślowski's The Three Colors Trilogy, red, blue, white, and red. And I've watched 2 of the 3 of these so far. I still have to watch red, and I think when I do that I might review all of them, or review it all in one video or something like that. But so far I'm liking everything I'm seeing here. The production is really nice. The video quality is pristine, beautiful as always you can expect from Criterion. And the direction is really, really nice in these movies too, so I definitely have to suggest this. These movies I've been wanting to see for a long time, and with the sale that was going on there, I got it for something like half the normal price. I think I bought all of this whole set, which is normally like a $70-something set, for like 40 bucks. The Sweet Smell of Success here, and this is a 1957 movie. It's black and white. It's about a journalist, and played by Tony Curtis. And it's pretty cool. It's a really, really well directed movie. If there's anything you notice about this movie as you're watching it, it's just like how clean and well choreographed, and how intensely directed everything is. Just the camera is like almost a character in the movie. The way it moves and pans and follows, and it's almost sort of ahead of its time in the way, how frenetic the camera work is in it, but it's also really clean and nice looking too. It's not like shaky camera or handheld feeling either. It's just a really well directed movie, and it's directed by Alexander McKendrick, which I don't think he did a whole lot of other movies besides this. I think I looked at his IMDb profile, and there was like 3 or 4 movies sort of besides this one, but I think this is what he's most well known for. But you know, Criterion did a really good job on the transfer. It's black and white, but it's clean, and you still get the film grain and all that stuff that you want to see. And it's quite a film. Now this is a movie that I'm not actually terribly excited by, like some people are. I think it sort of ranges in the overrated category, but it is a movie that I like a lot, and it's by a director that I like a lot. So I bought Dazed and Confused, the Blu-ray edition, and what's cool about this, and actually with Sweet Smell of Success too, is that they're not your normal snap cases like you usually get with Blu-ray. Even from Criterion, they actually managed to keep all of the stuff that came with the DVD version if you bought that. So you get the book, and you get the poster, and the cool inside art and all that stuff. So you know, I figured for 40% off you couldn't go wrong. And while it's not a movie that I think is just like an American masterpiece classic like some people make it out to be, I do think it is a pretty swell comedy. Okay, this one I bought on an Amazon sale. They had kind of one of those weird little 24-hour blips where if you buy it then it's like 50% off for no good reason other than they're being nice to their consumer. And I bought 12 Angry Men by Sidney Lumet. Of course, Sidney Lumet died last year, and I watched a bunch of his movies around that time. And this is an American masterpiece classic. There's other versions of this you can buy. You don't have to get Criterion, but it's cool that even though other people sort of have the DVD rights, that Criterion has a version of this out as well. So definitely cool that I'm excited that I was able to get this for a good price. Now this is the only Criterion DVD that I bought, but they haven't released a Blu-ray version of it yet, and I'm not so sure that they will. Visually it's not really a demanding movie, so I don't really know why they would go the extra mile to transfer it to Blu-ray, but you know, if they do, maybe I'll rebuy it. And it's Noah Baumbach's first movie, Kicking and Screaming. This I blind bought as well But I love Baumbach. I love everything I've seen by him so far. Greenberg was one of my favorite movies of the year before last, and The Squid and the Whale is a kind of a perennial for me. So I was excited to see what his first movie would be like, especially since it's made, a good 10 years before any of the stuff I know him from, or long before he got connected with Wes Anderson and all that kind of stuff. And weirdly enough, it's going to sound a little pretentious, but about 4 or so years ago, I started writing a screenplay sort of based upon me and my friends, and it was a very dialogue-driven, sort of Kevin Smithy sort of type of thing. And I kind of gave up on the screenplay about halfway through because I couldn't figure out anywhere these characters were supposed to go. It was so character-driven, so dialogue-driven, that I had no plot decided, and I got kind of bored with it, and I was just editing and re-editing. And I don't know, if you write it all, you know how that goes. But weirdly enough, when I watched this movie, it felt very much like the movie I was trying to write. I mean, the character archetypes are very similar, the dialogue is, and the love relationships and all that stuff, it's all very similar to the screenplay that I was trying to write 4 years ago. So I don't know if I'm happy or mad that I gave up on that script, but it's a good movie. It's very Baumbach-esque. So you get a lot of neurotic, self-obsessed characters, and you get a lot of angry biting and fighting and that kind of stuff, but it's sort of dark humor and wit and Woody Allen-esque type stuff. And I'm glad that I bought it, and I'm glad that I watched it. I think I actually did see this movie a long time ago on IFC or something like that, and I just forgot that I'd seen it. But yeah, kicking and screaming. So there you go. That kind of gets you and me caught up with everything I've more or less bought in the last few months, and this is, my personal channel here, in which I'll be doing more of these DVD updates, as well as vlogs and rants and reviews and whatever the hell else I want to do. So if you like what you've seen here, you can subscribe, and you'll be seeing more of me soon.